This is going to be a multi-part series. We'll call it Let's Not Die in the Woods, Part 1. It's been raining, and I figured it'd be a good opportunity to start kind of going over some survival kind of skills or just basic stuff. There may be things I don't know, there may be things I do wrong. We'll just see where it goes, and I'll show you how I set up things and how I use my bag that I have every day. If I were to have to walk somewhere and have to set up for overnight or anything like that. So we'll start right there, and I'll go ahead and get some of these items out of here. I went ahead and did brighter colored paracord because I wanted to be able to see it easier and show you all. So I went and chose some brighter color paracord for that. But right now, because it is raining, I'm gonna try to set up a basic ridgeline tent with a cover I have in here. And it's basically a multifunction poncho that has items in it to be able to make a basic ridge line. So I'm going to get this pulled out and set up, and we will find our tree that we think will work fairly well for this to go up and throw a ridge line already. So bear with me real quick. I've decided I'm going to take this tree right here. That's where I'm going to set up my ridge line. Across these two, because I don't really need a big span. I'm not looking for some major big area. Just something simple and easy. Just gonna clean these off real quick. It won't need to be far. I'm not trying to make a, like I said, I'm not trying to make a giant one, so we'll get that there. So there's a pretty basic knot that every camper or somebody should know. I think they even call it a camping knot, and it works really well for self-tightening. In fact, you know, I'm gonna do a bow line here real quick. Shoot! Come on now. Gloves don't help me. The reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to find a small piece of stick. Here, and what you can do is you can go around a tree and you create a small little loop, pulling it through the loop you already have, and you put the stick down through it and you pull that tight. So now I can go to my other tree over here and go ahead and do my camping knot. There we go. Now it's tightening up. So this is basically a knot that tightens on its own as you use it, as you pull it tight. So that would create basically a small little ridge line there to be able to throw this up and over. And this, being a poncho, does have this spot here, so you can tighten this up on itself to keep the water from coming out of the top there. Just face it down if you need to, and that should be fine. Now that you've got this spot sitting over top of it like that, you will have to find 4 more corners to be able to pull each of these tighter to be able to get you more of a cover over top of that. So I'll move the camera around and we'll get another view. So what I've got here is some little paracord windings, and I've tied them in a way where you'll put this loop through your 2 middle fingers, and you'll go around your thumb and your pinky finger, and it will allow you to be able to draw this, and it does not tangle on itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this set up to where I can get this pulled out a little bit more, so it covers it a little bit easier for me, and be able to keep me out of the rain if the rain does come. So I will go ahead and start working on that and get that there. This would be easier if I staked it, but I'm going to do it by finding trees. I don't particularly have anything laying around for that. So I'm just going to use trees. Could make my paracord a little bit shorter and it'd be a little bit easier on me. I didn't know how much I would need out here, so I'm going to go ahead and do the other 3 and not bother you all with that. Okay, so I've got all of them here tight, ready to go. So now I can start tightening my items down, so that we can get this covering more ground and keep the water off me. So that's pretty basic. I gotta tighten up the back ones a little more. Let me actually take the camera and show you all how those knots work. So what I've done here is I've put a stick in here because I've got a very temporary. If I pull that, I can drop this whole thing and unpack it up and ready to go if I have to stuff everything into one bag. Now, in order to show you this knot, what you can do is you can take this knot and you can slip it, and it will tighten up this whole thing at one go. So now, as you can see, I've got a little bit of coverage from the rain, if it were to rain in fact. So it's not very low to the ground. I could probably get it a little bit lower to the ground. That would allow me to be able to keep some of the sideways rain coming in. But this is basically just here for keeping temporary rain. Say if I'm out here trying to work or do anything, just very temporary. This is not long term at all by any means. That's the whole purpose of this setup. So so I know if you or anybody comment about, oh my gosh, you know, this is not a good set, you know, this is the fact that I've used wood quick releases basically lets you know it's extremely temporary, because this is just, hey, it's raining, I need to get out of the rain a little bit, let me see where we go on that. So, and now if I was going to stay overnight, depending on whether I wanted to be seen or not, my next thought would be to start trying to find things and get a little fire going. So I might actually go ahead and try and make a fire. I'm not sure what I have available for that. I should have some items in that backpack. If I don't, that's my problem. As most everything is wet around here because of the rain, I'm going to go for some of the lower limbs and try and get some of this small stuff. I know it's probably green and that's probably not ideal, but I'm going to go around and pick up any kind of dead limbs and everything I can find right now, and just start making a little pile of items to be able to make a fire. So you can watch for a little bit, but I'll probably turn the camera off because it'll be a little bit of hide and seek with some good limbs around here. So, and the leaves are all soaked, so I can't use those. So we'll see what I can gather up. Found this dead little tree. I'm going to try and get as much off this as I can. I know it's wet, but it's so small it'll dry out quickly if I can get any kind of little fire going. Nice. I can start getting shavings off of that too, so that'll work. Alright, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start making a pile of pretty fine small stuff and a pile of bigger items so that I can start getting a small bundle together that will catch fire and keep lit quicker. So now I got to try and find something that's decently dry in here, and some of these lower limbs are pretty dry looking. So, and one of the things, I keep several different fire starting methods in my backpack. One of them being just a regular Bic lighter in a waterproof container, because why would you set yourself up to having to start a fire with a striker or any kind of method like that when you are in a scenario where it's wet like this, you need to be able to get that fire going, get yourself warmed or dried out as best you possibly can. So make these things small, that way they can bust open and start drying out once you get the flame going. So also one of the things I like to do is I like to keep cotton, toilet paper, any kind of stuff like that in my backpack. And even a better method, which I don't currently have in that bag, is putting them in Vaseline so that they're a really good fire starter at that point. So we're getting somewhere now. So let me get this set up and I will get a video of me getting this going. Alright, so before I try and get this fire going, I'm going to try and get as much chips and items as I can. One of the ways I like to get small pieces is to put my axe in the ground and just drag it against it. You get little slivers of wood. Little shavings. We'll take those and we'll keep piling them up. So I'll get some cotton out of my bag here in a second and give this a go. Oh, shoot. Okay, so I forgot to turn the camera on. So sorry, but I made a little bed of sticks, just little snapped up sticks, and that's what I put my cotton on to keep it from being on the ground, possibly getting wet. And then I've piled up all these little small chunks of slivers of wood that I've cut off, so I can try to get that to take a spark, and all these little pieces to keep it going long enough to get the little pile of sticks on top of it. So we'll see how this goes. Small little pieces. So my first attempt failed, so I've got quite a bit more chips down here now. Of course the wind had to come through right as that was happening. Alright. If at first you don't succeed, how many tries do you try again? We're gonna get this. Let's say I'm cold out there. So many shavings. Does that mean it's gonna keep going? We're gonna keep feeding it, hopefully it will. I don't know if it'll keep going, but we're gonna keep stacking crap on it and hope that it keeps feeding off some of this. Come on, little fire. You can do it. Oh, man, it is not fun making a fire in the cold. Man, well, it's been a little while since I've started a fire, and that's why you keep some dry tinder in your bag, because dry tinder in your bag will most definitely help you in starting a fire. Now, while that keeps smoking and going, I gotta keep getting bigger and bigger stuff for it so that it can continue to grow. I'll just let that run for a little bit while I go look for some more wood. Smoking it out. It's all wet, so it's having a hard time. Having a hard time with it, so go find some more wood. So I'm not gonna let the fire get any bigger than this. We successfully got a fire going. Awesome. I'm gonna show you why. I'm gonna take this down. I'm gonna show you why I used the sticks the way I did. That'll make it easier on me when I'm pulling this up, especially if I had to do it in a quicker scenario. So as you can see, this is tied right here the way it is. And if I take this stick and I slip it out, I can pull this out and boom, it's all undone already. Completely ready to go. I just gotta undo my knot down here to get this off the tree. And that is done. Awesome. Now I'm gonna show you how I wrap this up. Okay, so I always keep a loop on the end of my string for a reason, because you take that, you put it between your two fingers, you go around your thumb like this and your pinky over and over again, and this makes it to where you this over here. This makes it to where you do not have to worry about it when you pull it out. It will all come out in one go and not be tangled up at all. It's very convenient. And then you stop right about there probably. Pull these off. Getting all the smoke in my face now from the fire. and you start wrapping this up around this as much as you can. Try and get that wrapped around as many times near to the end, and then you will do a simple cinch there. Hold that tight, and now when you pull on this string right here, it will all come out not tangled at all, and that's done. I'm gonna take the rest of this down and get out of here. Need a little bit better compression bag. I don't have to worry about that. I hope you all enjoyed my first episode of Let's Not Die in the Woods, and I will try and keep this going so we can get some more cool tips and tricks going on. Hope you all enjoyed.
What?